Well, the sanctuary city fight in full swing as one Massachusetts sheriff is now calling for the arrest of leaders in sanctuary cities. This after a Democratic representative of Massachusetts, Michelle Dubois, came under fire for a Facebook post warning illegal immigrants about rumored ICE raids yesterday, a post which she later altered and updated with a request for donations. Right now, it stands at 0. Bristol County Sheriff Thomas Hodgson calls her actions irresponsible, and he joins us from our nation's capital. Sheriff, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
What's she doing?
You know, I think that's what most people in Massachusetts and across the country are asking. It's hard to imagine, it's unconscionable that an elected official would be sending out an alert that would put ICE officers at risk and our local officers at risk on dealing with these transnational gangs and these criminally illegal aliens when we're getting ready to do a raid. We need that element of surprise. Never mind allowing these people to maybe avoid being apprehended and going off into some other community and committing some crime against innocent people later on.
Sure. You know, I think what is getting lost in this, and first up, let's put up her post that we talked about yesterday. She wrote on Facebook, "I got the following information from my friend in the Latin community. I have a message for the immigrant community of Brockton. Please be careful yesterday. ICE will be in Brockton on that day." Okay. What's getting lost here, Sheriff, is the fact that, you know, if she's trying to address people who are in this country illegally without a criminal record, that's one thing. But she's also alerting, if that was her intention, people who are in this country illegally and have a criminal record or have a warrant out for their arrest, telling them as well, hey, look out, don't open the door because the bad guys are coming for you.
And what would she do, Steve, if it was a DEA raid with one of our task forces? Would she notify the smugglers and the drug dealers about the same thing? But this is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard an elected official to do, completely undermining their oath and undermining law enforcement's efforts to keep the community safe.
I understand you had a meeting yesterday. You got another one today. You say leaders of sanctuary cities should be arrested. Explain that idea.
Look, any elected official in this country that openly defies federal law under Section 1324 clearly states anyone who knows someone to be in the country illegally and attempts to harbor or conceal them commits a felony under federal law up to 5 years per alien. And any elected official shouldn't be held less accountable for consequences when they violate federal law than are their constituents. So they can't take license because they're elected officials and decide if they don't have the courage or the will to go to Washington and lobby to change the law.
Sure. Don't
tell us that you're going to decide how it's going to go or tell law enforcement to turn our backs on our oath.
You know, we had a report about an hour ago, Sheriff. Griff Jenkins was at that meeting yesterday, and it's interesting because a number of top law enforcement officials from these sanctuary cities are essentially in denial. What are you talking about? We're not a sanctuary city, because they want to keep the money.
Right. And you know, that's really what this is about. That's why they're there. They're more concerned about the money. But you know, look, we're not gonna back down on this issue. The president's absolutely right in insisting that sanctuary cities be penalized if they're not going to follow federal law. You can't just ignore it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is other communities will say, well, I guess, and the public will say, yeah, I guess they really aren't serious about it.
Yeah. Speaking of the public, it would be interesting. Ainsley interviewed one of the Angel moms yesterday who said, you know, if you put this up for a vote in these sanctuary cities, most people in these sanctuary cities would probably vote on the side of law enforcement.
Oh, there's no question about it. Look, I don't care what your party affiliation is. People want to be safe, and that's the fundamental responsibility of government. So there's no question about that.
All right. Sheriff, we thank you very much. We know you got a busy agenda today down in D.C.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for your service.